If you had to build a media house from scratch, this is something I'm passionate about, Yuval. What should the media for the new world look like? Is it something that is not behind a corporation? Is it more like a cooperative, more fragmented media? Because if large corporations that are the social media companies of today have algorithms that optimize for a reaction, control who consumes what, it doesn't even matter what media is being reported and generated because they get to choose who reads what.
That's the big problem today with the media world.
How do you fix it?
And don't let non-humans control the human conversation. Our biggest mistake is that over the last 10 years, we gave one of the most important jobs in the world to algorithms, and they did a terrible, terrible job. One of the human society is ultimately a conversation between humans, especially in democracies. We come together, we discuss what to do, foreign policy, economic policy, and for that you need media. How do you manage a conversation between millions of people? And we built institutions over centuries to manage the public conversation. They were not perfect. No institution is perfect, but they learned from mistakes over time and they became better. And then we did a terrible mistake. We gave the job of managing the public conversation to algorithms.
And why did it work? Why did the algorithms manage this job in a manner that it got more reaction?
Because the algorithms were given a very, very simple task. The algorithms were not given the task, okay, manage the conversation in a way that will build trust, or in a way that will promote truth, or in a way that will improve society. How do you measure improve society? This is a very difficult metric. We want a simple metric. They were given a very simple metric, increase engagement. What does it mean? Make people spend more time on the platform and engage more. Like engage, you read a story, you send it to your friends, or you write a comment. This is engagement. And the business model was, if people spend more time on our platform and engage more, we make more money by showing them more advertisement or taking their data and selling it to a third party. This was the business model. The metric was extremely simple, which was good for the algorithms because these are very primitive AIs. This is like the first generation. And the AIs experimented on billions of human beings and discovered something, that if you want to increase engagement, to grab people's attention and make them stay longer on the platform, press the hate button in the human mind. Press the greed button or the fear button. You don't need truth. You don't need trust. You don't need social accountability. And if anger is more engaging than compassion, so let's drive anger. And this is what happened over the last 10 years all over the world. You have these people ask, why are Republicans and Democrats no longer able even to talk to each other, to agree on the most basic facts? You can't explain it by just American society, because you see the same thing in Brazil, you see the same thing in Israel, you see the same thing all over the world. It can't be something specific to one country, it's the underlying technology. We have given, in the job of, say, editors of news was one of the most important jobs in the world in the 20th century. And you ask today, who are the most important editors in the world?
Social media.
It's algorithms. They don't even have names. The editors of TikTok and Facebook and X, they are not human beings.
So Yuval, data shows that the youngest of people, age group 16 to 20, 22, are spending lesser time on social media, significantly lesser.
Good news.
If I were to build a new social media and have a new algorithm that does not optimize for hate and greed necessarily, what do you think would be good but also work?
work in a business sense or work in a society sense?
It has to work in a business sense for it to work in a society sense.
Yes, this is the big problem.
Yeah.
Because we have many models of how to build much better algorithms for society. Like you had these models from Taiwan that they actually built it and it worked well, that you can take the same basic premises of social media and reverse them. You can have the algorithm rewarding content, like the algorithm, first of all, in this Taiwan system, it maps people according to their views into clusters of groups. Very easy to do that. And then, that's the key point. When new content is released, it promotes the content not on the basis of how much engagement it gains altogether, but to the extent that it gains engagement from both sides. If you just cater to one group, your content is not promoted. It has to be in some way connecting different groups to be promoted. And it's a very small tweak.
And it worked?
It worked amazingly.
And then?
It's still running. Right. The thing is that in business terms, this was a governmental experiment. For the business model of social media companies, it's problematic.
So you're saying in a way discourse could work, where two people with opinions where they might not necessarily agree, both sides of the argument are presented.
If you aim to speak in a way that will be heard by somebody from another group, you can do that. Humans have been doing it for thousands of years. But in the last 10 years, the incentive structure changed. Like if you go, to the Athenian Agora 2,500 years ago, and you speak, you know that you have to speak in a way that will be heard by different groups of people. If you speak to only one group, it won't work. But on social media, if you speak in a way that inflames a certain group of people and doesn't resonate at all with others, doesn't matter. You build your 1 million followers and you become influential and potentially rich and so forth, and you increasingly, you radicalize yourself more and more because you increasingly speak only to this one group of people, and the fact that other groups are completely put off by the way you speak, you don't care.
You bring up Greek philosophy a fair amount with Athens and Plato and Socrates. You said something against being nihilistic in the beginning. So if you're not nihilistic as a person, do you believe there is a purpose to life? And if yes, what is it?
I don't speak in terms of purpose. Purpose, people think there is a big story, the drama of the universe, and I have to play a certain role. Again, let's go back to the Greeks. They invented theater, drama. So life is like a drama. I need to find out what is my role, what are my lines, and perform it. This is something I don't believe.
What do you believe?
I don't believe that the universe works like a story.
Right.
I think the ultimate reality is the reality of suffering and liberation from suffering, which is not about these dramas that people construct in their minds. The dramas we construct in our minds very often obscure the reality from us, don't allow us. We often, we sometimes cause immense pain to other people and to ourselves because we think we do it while pursuing our role in the universal drama.
Is this a bit like the Buddhist school of thought where desire is the root of all suffering? How do you eliminate suffering, or how do you take cognizance to what is causing you suffering?
And the ultimate, what I would say, is not desire, it's ignorance.
Ignorance of?
Ignorance of the reality. That, again, ultimately...
Wouldn't ignorance of the reality actually make me suffer lesser?
Why?
Because if I'm not thinking of something actively, I'm not suffering by virtue of having that thought in my mind. If there is pain in the world, say for example, people are dying in Iran today. My ignorance of people dying in Iran will make me suffer lesser, no?
from that particular thing. But if then you get into the habit of ignoring inconvenient things, if you just ignore the suffering in Iran, okay, nobody can care about everything that happens in the world. We are just, we are just frail human beings. We can't carry the whole world on our shoulders. But if you get into the habit pattern of ignoring things that are inconvenient, then you will bring this habit pattern into everything in your life, into your family relationships, into your professional work, into your relationship with yourself. And again, this will cause you to be ignorant of the ways that you hurt others and the ways that you hurt yourself, and then you can't do anything about it. We can't fix something that we are busy ignoring.
I hear you. But how do I take cognizance of my suffering in a manner that gives me purpose in life?
The realization that suffering is not inevitable, that you can do something about it. And, ultimately, there are only two things in the world which are really under our control, and this is the present moment and my own mind. Everything else is not really under my control. I can't control the past. Whatever happened in the past, even if I'm president of the strongest country in the world, I cannot change the past. And similarly, the future. I cannot now guarantee something to happen in a year or 100 years. It's not under only the present moment and only my own mind. And even if I'm president of a powerful country, ultimately the only thing I really control to some extent is my own mind.
The person in the next room might disagree.
We constantly try to control the world, all of us, to lesser and we can't. Even if we are the most powerful person we cannot stop our body from aging. You want to control countries on the other side of the world, try to control your own body, stopping it from aging. Try to control the next thought that comes up in your mind. Let's say you're President X of whatever country, and there is this crisis in Greenland, in Iran, whatever. You go to sleep. And you say, I need to sleep well tonight because tomorrow I'm giving this important speech in Davos, so I should be fresh. I need to sleep. And as you put your head on the pillow, some really annoying thought comes up in your mind. And you can't get rid of it. This happens to everybody, including presidents, that you want to fall asleep and you can't because there is this thought in my mind. And think about it. I can order a nuclear strike on another country. I can raise tariffs to 1,000%. I can order my eyes to shut. Here, I shut my eyes. I can order my body lie still. I cannot order my thought to stop. I can't even control that. And if you cannot control that, are you really in control of anything?
Nothing. I'm with you. I'm with you that I don't control much, not even the next thought in my mind. I'm also with you that suffering is inevitable. I'm trying to draw the bridge from this Yuval to how is that solving my purpose problem in life? How do I not be nihilistic?
What do you mean by purpose? What do you want?
What is the point of life?
To understand suffering and be liberated from it.
To understand suffering and?
And be liberated from it. You don't want to suffer.
So if I understand suffering, I will be liberated of suffering?
Ultimately, yes. Because, again, all suffering comes from ignorance. If we really understand what suffering is and where it comes from, then we can be liberated from it, not just ourselves, but also help other people do the same. And of course, it's extremely difficult. But if you ask me, what is the purpose? People want money. Why do they want money? In order not to suffer. People want power. Why do they want power? They think, if I had all the power in the world, if I had billions of dollars, then I can prevent myself from being sick. I can prevent myself from being sad. I can prevent, and it doesn't work. People have been doing it, for thousands of years. You can ask the previous generations of dictators and emperors and kings and billionaires. This path doesn't work.